Rev Gens. I tried to do a different thing today, but it just didn't came out the way that I wanted it to. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something very important, and that's structuring your sales pitch. Every single pitch, every time you go to sell something, you need to have a structure. The reason you have the structure is not for you, it is for the people you are selling. Think of it like a flight plan. When you get on an airplane, your pilot already knows where he wants to go. He already knows the process to get the bird off the ground. He also knows the route he's going to take, and he knows the procedure to land it. Same thing when you're selling something. You don't want to be a pilot who is scrambling. That is not good. It does not happen. No pilot is scrambling unless there is an emergency and you don't want to be on that plane. Don't take your prospects on that plane either. So let me talk to you a little bit about what you can do, particularly if you don't have any sales training, if you don't have any structure. It's just kind of a throw everything at the wall and stick. There are companies that do that. If it is, subscribe below, reach out to me for a consultation call. We'll help get that fixed. First thing is first, you always want to have a good introduction. The introduction is the most important part of the sale because it is the start, it's the first impression. You to the client. Now, the first impression of the product or the company has already happened through your marketing. That's something that normally a salesperson can't really control unless you own the business, which I'll talk about that in a little bit in the future. First things first, you introduce yourself to the client. That can be as big or small of a part as you need to be depending on what you sell. So if I sell a roof, that's a 5 to 10 minute thing. I'm here, hey, I'm Nick, how are you? Why don't we step on outside, take a look at your roof and see what's going on. That is a simple, easy, clean intro. It doesn't need to be a lot. You don't need to overthink it. Now, if you're trying to sell a massive solution or a solution that requires 10 decision makers to a company, that process is going to be more in depth and it's going to take you a much longer sales cycle. After you've cleared out the intro, this is the most important thing that's going to happen the entire time. You have to connect with the customer, the client, the beneficiary, whatever their designation, you have to connect with them. You do that through a story. The story is not only the company story, it is the story of how what you sell, what problem you solve, and how you are the expert that can help them. All of that ties together. Makes sense? You, the expert, you're like the doctor. They might have a little cold, a little sniffle. You're going to help them feel better with your solution. How do you do that? Through a story. You want to tie in information about the company, how the process works, how your products work, what your procedures, warranties, what you actually do, and how it relates to them. While you're doing this process, you're going to hit them with the proposition. What is the sales proposition? Why are you here? Why are you here? In the case of the roof, obviously they need a new roof. People don't call roof estimates if they have a brand new roof. It doesn't make sense. So they're either experiencing a leak or they've seen a bunch of shingles fall, or yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter. The examples are endless. Tie in the proposition. The proposition will always be what is most important to the client. And normally, if you sell home improvements, which I video below about fastest 100K, always can be circled back to a few things. Normally, it's a pain point involving loss. Are they going to lose money? Are they going to cost a bunch of money? Is there going to be something bad that happens if they don't buy your product? Is there already something bad happening? For example, the roof is leaking, they have mold everywhere, their house is in shambles. Something bad is happening, we're there to fix it. That is the story and proposition. Link below, get a consultation call. I can explain it to you more in depth if your industry is not as clear or it's not as clear to you. Next, after you do the proposition, you're going to go through what I like to call the pre-close. During this story, during the proposition, and during the pre-close, these three little sectors, you want to be closing the door on objections. Meaning you want to be going through price conditioning. You want to be talking about what this stuff normally costs. Yeah, roofs in your area could be anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000, depending on sizes, shapes, and materials, and how much work needs to be done, what kind of underlayments it needs. You want to tie in these little points so that when you get to your pre-close, which is very simple, pre-close is just a setup, trial close before you actually ask them for the business. And you want to set that up with, obviously you see the value with what we're doing. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I wish if we could do this, we could get this done for you. I wish we could do it for free, right? And people always are going to say, yeah, if it was free, of course. So that means that you have, again, brought them back psychologically to, we want to do it. We just have a number in our head that we want to do it at. And if the money wasn't a concern, they would do it. Always think in terms of that. If they are okay with the idea, they're on board with you, it makes perfect sense to do the project, whatever it is, you're now moving through the man's sales system. It's right here. We maneuvered, we adapted. Now we want to get to the negotiation. That's all the pre-close is a set up that negotiation part, just in case they don't automatically say yes. Then you go through your closing. Your closing can be as simple as, let's just get this taken care of for you. That's all you gotta say. Let's just get this taken care of. Perfect. That's it. Very simple. And then you stop talking. Don't say, what do you think? Just ask for the business. Let's get that handled for you. We can take care of that. Let me get your paperwork started. Does that sound like a good idea? Okay. That's it. All you have to do. Very, very simple. Once the closes happen, you'll get your yes or no. Once the yes or no happens, you'll have two roads to go down. If it's a yes, then you will go through a pre-close or a post-closing setup. If it's a no, you will go over objections and objection handling, overcoming, and then right back into the post-close. Once you go into the objections, you want to handle them as smooth and easily as you can. There's a bunch of ways to do it. I'm going to go over a video about it. Overcome their objections, negotiate down the price, the project, or the terms, close the deal, and then post-close, cool them down, pull them out of the ether, exit the home or exit the phone call as smooth and easily as you can, set up your follow-up sequence. That is the gist of a sales protocol front to back in a 7-minute video. If you need more details, which I'm sure you will, link below, comment what questions you have and what videos I can go into more detail, what sections you have questions on, and we'll be able to get you going in the right direction. Get out there and sell something.